Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw and WWE main event results for this week of Raw being April 23rd. And we got birthdays starting off. April 20th, Johnny Stamboli, born 1977. Kurt Hawkins, born 1985. April 21st, birthdays, Orlando Jordan. Axel Rotten, he was born in 1971. And the 22nd, Miguel Perez, he was born 1963. Ezekiel Jackson, born 1978. Tony Atlas, born 1944 on the 23rd. And Terry Bam Bam Gordy was born on the 23rd, 1961. John Cena celebrated another birthday. He was born 1977, so take it. He's 41 years old now. Also, 23rd, Donovan G. Jock, who's now in NXT. He was born 1987. And finally, rounding out birthdays, Moose, who was born 1984 on the 23rd. According to official Facebook page, former Raw guest host and known to many as Mini-Me from Austin Powers franchise, Vern Troyer, has passed away today on Monday at the age of 49. Troyer's appearance was in November of 2009. He talked about about his WWE experience. My condolences go to the family and friends of Vern Troyer, Mini-Me. Mid-Atlantic star Paul Jones also passed away this week at the age of 76. WWE remembered Jones with an announcement on their website. Paul Jones passes away on the 20th. WWE is saddened to learn that Paul Jones has passed away at the age of 76. A mixture of Mid-Atlantic territory throughout the 60s and 70s, Jones found success as both a competitor and a manager. He won the NWA Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight title on 3 occasions and formed championship tag teams with the likes of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Wahoo McDaniel, and Baron Von Raschke. When his in-ring career ended, Jones became a villainous manager and formed the Paul Jones Army, which included the likes of Powers of Pain, Abdullah the Butcher, and Jake the Snake Roberts. I didn't know about the last two, Abdullah and Jake the Snake, but I did know about Powers of Pain. Warlord and Animal. Let's see, Warlord and Barbarian. WWE and myself extend its condolences to Jones' family, friends, and fans. WWE Hall of Famer, the Hulkster, will be inducted into the Boys and Girls Club of America's Alumni Hall of Fame in San Diego on Wednesday, May 2nd. The ceremony will kick off the 112th Boys and Girls Club of America National Conference, and snowboarder/skateboarder Shaun White will be inducted with the Hulkster. WWE works closely with the BGCA, and Triple H was inducted last year. Alexa Bliss is not on the current WWE International Tour, despite being advertised. She did not work the live events in Cape Town, South Africa, on Wednesday and Thursday, but is still advertised for Raw in Pretoria and South Africa, and Saturday's show in Johannesburg. Bliss did not appear live on Monday's Superstar Shakeup edition of Raw, but she was featured in a sidebar backstage interview during the Mickie James versus Ember Moon match. The storyline was that Bliss was supposed to do match commentary with Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax, but she didn't want to come sit beside Jax because of her bullying ways. Storyline. As seen in this link, Bliss has been active on social media and appears to be at home in the U.S. this week on her Instagram. Kona Reeves will be returning to WWE NXT TV in 2 weeks with a new gimmick called The Finest. And you can see his promo at this link. This week's NXT show opened up with a graphic in memory of Hall of Famer Bruno Sammartino, who passed away at the age of 82. And you can see a graphic of that as well. A picture of that, as they posted on Raw. Also, Wednesday's WWE Live event in Cape Town, South Africa, opened with a 10-bell salute for the WWE Hall of Famer Bruno Sammartino, who passed away that day at the age of 82. And that can be seen at that link there. An update on WWE Sunday Night Heat coming to the WWE Network. WWE Network News.com notes that a Heat category appeared on the network Roku app, the Xbox app, and the website earlier this week. The category is currently empty, but this could indicate that Heat is finally coming to the WWE Network soon. Maybe not just on the main network, but on certain devices. This is the first episode of WWE's formerly known as series at this link, featuring an in-depth interview with WWE Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins on how he went from Tyler Black to Seth Rollins. Congratulations to The Rock and his longtime partner, Lauren Hessian, for welcoming their second daughter into the world, Tiana Gia Johnson. This makes daughter number 3 for the great one. As The Rock posted the news and picture at this link on his Instagram account. And it says in the caption, "Skin to skin, our mana, blessed and proud to bring another strong girl into this world. Tia Gia Johnson came into this world like a force of nature, and Mama, at Lauren Hessian Official, labored and delivered like a true rock star. I was raised and surrounded by strong, loving women all my life. But after participating in baby Tia's delivery, it's hard to express the new level of love, respect, and admiration I have for at Lauren Hessian Official and all mamas and women out there. Word to the wise, gentlemen. It's critical to be by your lady's head when she's delivering, being as supportive as you can, holding hands, holding legs, whatever you can do. Be there for support. But if you really want to understand the single most powerful and primal moment life will ever offer, watch your child being born. It's a life changer, and a respect and admiration you have for women will forever be boundless. And to my third and youngest daughter, Tia Gia, like I did when your 2 older sisters, Simone Alexandra and Jasmine Leah, were born, you have my word. I'll love, protect, guide, and make you laugh for the rest of my life. Your crazy dad has many responsibilities and wears many hats in this big old world, but being your dad will always be the one I'm most proud to wear. Oh, and one more thing. You're going to love rolling in Daddy's pickup truck. Hashtag Tiana Gia Johnson. Hashtag third daughter. Hashtag blessed and grateful man. Hashtag I'm in trouble. 2018 Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg indicated on Twitter that he is currently suffering from two torn rotator cuffs. No word yet on when the injuries occurred, but he revealed the injury when responding to a tweet from WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. Booker's Heated Conversations podcast recently featured a discussion on how Booker and Goldberg had a friendly discussion backstage at WrestleMania 34 about being in shape and possibly having a match in the future, perhaps at WrestleMania 35. After jokingly challenging Goldberg to a match, Booker also challenged Goldberg to a pull-up contest and a pose down. Well, photos from day 2 of the WWE trial to Saudi Arabia, plus behind-the-scenes video from day 1 with comments from WWE Performance Center coach Matt Bloom on how the first day went. And Matt Bloom commented at NXT Matt Bloom update from WWE at WWE hashtag KSAT tryouts in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The athlete showed a lot of heart and poise through today's drills, but tomorrow is a different animal. Day 2 of any tryout has a few people who create separation from the pack. Let's get it done. Hashtag we are NXT. Day 1 tryouts can be found at this link. Running sprints at this link. Backdrops at this link. I'll post it all together. Back drills. That link. How many reps can you do in 36 seconds? Well, Ty Dillinger. Hey, isn't that your number? The perfect 10? Well, this guy did it in 36 seconds. And that is what you call running the ropes, jumping over the bag, landing on the floor, getting back up, running to the next rope, back, doing the same thing, back and forth. Go to all the links. WWE has been holding tryouts in Saudi Arabia over the past couple of days in advance of the promotion holding its greatest Royal Rumble event in Jeddah later this week. Just today, they announced 8 winners after the first 4 days. WWE.com with some background on those 8. Hussein Aldagal, a 6'3", 215-pounder with a background in volleyball and bodybuilding. Mansoor Al-Shihel, a 6 foot, 175-pounder, who has trained under WWE Hall of Famer Dory Funk Jr. Hey, I'm about that size, but I'm only 5'11", 175. Faisal Kurdi, a 5'9", 180-pound MMA fighter, amateur grappler, and Muay Thai boxer. Nasser Bawazir, a 6'3", 250-pound champion in boxing, MMA, and Aikido. Khalid Al-Hatali, I hope I pronounced his name correctly, a competitor in bodybuilding as well as combat sports, including boxing and jiu-jitsu. Abdullah M. Al-Maghrabi, a 225-pound karate champion and boxing trainer. Faisal Al-Baudi, a 23-year-old, whose athletic background includes competitive swimming, boxing, and bodybuilding. Asad Al-Sharif, a 23-year-old Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestler who has also trained in various martial arts. Next, they'll do even more training, and eventually 1 of the 8 will be chosen to wrestle in the Greatest Royal Rumble match. And from what I've read, there are 26 available spots, so maybe all 8 will get their chances. Let's stay tuned for SmackDown. See if there's any more results for that. Former WWE Cruiserweight Champion Rich Swann is backstage at tonight's Impact Wrestling tapings. His wife, Sue Young, works for the company. He could just be visiting friends. Swann has announced his retirement from wrestling in March. However, he returned to the ring for a match for CZW last week. And your spoilers for main event episode. Maybe not spoilers. Because I'm doing this video on Wednesday night. Zack Ryder defeated Mike Kanellis and also got injured in that match. Revival defeated Rhino and Heath Slater with a shatter machine. Raw opened up with a graphic in memory of Hall of Famer Bruno Sammartino, who passed away last Wednesday at the age of 82. We see Vince McMahon and the rest of the roster lined up on stage inside Scott Trade Center in St. Louis. Fans were chanting Bruno as JoJo asked us to stand for the 10-bell salute. And they cut to a video package on Bruno's career. We come back from the video when the music hits and the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar comes to the ring with Paul Heyman. Michael Cole welcomes us to the Raw program. He's joined in by Corey Graves and WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. Welcome back, Booker, who is filling in temporarily, supposedly, for Jonathan Coachman this week, as he has been moved to ESPN's golf channel. Coleslaw says Coach is on assignment this week, but Graves says he's out golfing. We go to commercial as the Beast hits the ring. I did not see this first segment at all. Back from the break, Heyman's in the ring with a mic. He starts bragging about WrestleMania 34 win over Roman Reigns, also mentioning how Lesnar dominated guys like John Cena and The Undertaker in the past. Heyman goes on and says Lesnar doesn't gloat, but Heyman sure does. He rants about Lesnar taking Reigns to Suplex City and leaving him laying. Heyman says none of this means anything to Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar does not dwell on the past, even when the past was just 2 weeks ago. Heyman says Lesnar looks ahead to the future, especially when the future is this Friday in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia at the Greatest Royal Rumble event. Heyman says Lesnar is so crazed to be in a UFC fight that he will hop on a private jet and fly around the world to Saudi Arabia just to be locked inside a cage with Reigns. Preparing for a MMA fight? Possibly. Some fans start chanting for Roman as Heyman asks if they really think being in the cage with Reigns is a good idea. Heyman says WWE had no choice but to send Lesnar a big fat contract with a pay raise once he pinned Reigns. Heyman says WWE went to Lesnar and said they needed the title defended in Saudi Arabia, and Lesnar demanded they give him Reigns because he was still breathing in a steel cage. Heyman said that the odds are more stacked against Reigns now than they ever were at WrestleMania, and that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. Reigns is stepping into the cage with the greatest cage fighter of all time, Heyman says. He goes on about how Lesnar would destroy Reigns on Friday, sending him back to the United States in pieces, in boxes. As a former WWE superstar, Heyman goes on, but the music interrupts. Out comes Reigns. Reigns marches to the ring and takes his time entering, staring Lesnar down. Reigns meets Lesnar in the middle of the ring and nods at him. The stare down continues as Lesnar starts smiling. Reigns says Lesnar is right. He doesn't know how he's going to get back home, but he knows one thing. St. Louis, he's coming back from Saudi Arabia with a title. And you can believe that. Reigns drops the mic, backs out of the ring as his music starts back up. Reigns mouths some words to Lesnar as he leaves the ring. Still to come, the Sammy and Kevin show will premiere with Raw General Manager Kurt Angle as the first guest. Also a Big 10-woman match as the main event. Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Mickie James, and Alexa Bliss versus Natalya, Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax. We see Elias backstage walking for a match with Bobby Roode. And this is where I catch the action right here. Elias versus Bobby Roode. Back from the break, Elias is in the ring with a spotlight with his guitar. Elias briefly introduces himself, but he's quickly interrupted by the music as Bobby Roode makes his entrance. What does WWE stand for? And the crowd goes along with him. Walk with Elias. The bell rings and they lock up. Elias takes Roode down with a headlock. Elias drops Roode with a shoulder, but Roode comes back with an elbow. Roode with shots in the corner. Elias fights out with chops of his own. Elias then ducks a blockbuster, but Roode comes back with an inverted atomic drop and a drop kick for a 2 count. Roode keeps Elias grounded now as Roode sells a knee injury. Elias fights back and drops Roode with a right hand to turn it around. Elias with chops against the ropes while talking trash now. Elias then avoids a glorious EDT, but Roode closeouts him over the top rope to the floor for a breather. Roode stands tall in the middle of the ring as we go to commercial. As the fans are popping for him. Back and forth after the break, Roode gets into the ring post in the corner. Elias keeps Roode grounded and the screen splits with the promo for the Greatest Royal Rumble event. Again, Elias turns it around in the corner and stomps away on Roode. Elias with a big boot to the head. Elias slams Roode on the apron. Delivers a running knee to the face. Gets a 2 count. Elias comes back in and keeps Roode grounded in a submission hold. Roode tries to fight up and out, but Elias takes him back down. Roode finally manages to slam Elias with a side suplex. Roode with more offense, and he makes a comeback. Roode with a neck breaker and goes up top. Roode nails the flying clothesline. It was the fan cheer for him. Roode calls for a glorious EDT, but Elias backdrops him. Roode rolls him up, but only gets a 2 count. More back and forth. Roode hits a blockbuster, but Elias rolls out of the ring and avoids a pinfall. Roode goes to the floor and brings Elias back in. Elias catches him coming in over the ropes and rolls him up for the pinfall. After the match, Elias looks from the bottom of the ramp. As his music plays, Roode sits up in the ring as we go back to replays. Elias backs up the ramp, and as Roode looks on from the ring. Surprise. Matt Hardy's backstage. He talks about the future being clear for the title shot at the Greatest Royal Rumble on Sunday and mentions entering the Wasteland tonight, presumably for a match against the Ascension. Bray Wyatt appears and talks about casting a shadow with Hardy that will engulf all living things. They laugh together and turn to the camera to issue a warning. Run! We go to commercial. Ascension versus Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Back from the break, the Ascension is already out in the ring. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt are out next. Matt starts things off with Victor. Matt gets everyone to give Victor a standing ovation after a few simple moves. Wyatt scares Victor and allows Matt to get the upper hand. Wyatt tags in for some double teaming. Wyatt goes for Uranagi, but Victor avoids it, and in comes Connor. Connor rocks Wyatt, but Wyatt drops him with a clothesline. Matt tags back in. Matt and Wyatt do double teaming as Matt gets the upper hand on Connor. Matt gets a delete chant going, but Connor rams him back in the corner. Victor tags in and they double team him and unload and beat Hardy down in the corner. Connor with more offense and a 2 count. Victor tags back in and launches himself at Hardy for a 2 count. Victor keeps Matt grounded. Wyatt comes back in and turns it around on Victor. Wyatt nails a boot to Connor and goes back to work on Victor, launching himself at him off the ropes. Wyatt turns upside down for the gator crawl and in the corner for a pop. He unloads on Victor, and in comes Hardy for the side effect. Victor kicks out at 2. Matt calls for the delete chant, but Connor runs in to stop the twist of fate. Wyatt takes Connor out of the ring with his sister Abigail. Wyatt tags back in for the double team finisher on Victor. Wyatt covers for the pin while Matt stares at him. After the match, Wyatt and Hardy stand tall together and poses as the music hits. Still to come segment, the Sammy and Kevin show. Back to commercial. Back from the break, they air another video on Bruno Sammartino with social media comments from Triple H, Bruno Mars, and others. We go to the ring. Out comes Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the premiere of their new segment, the Sammy and Kevin Show. The ring cover is red, and there are a few easels with photos and their logo displayed. Sammy and Owens take their seats at a table. They both have their own microphones. Owens welcomes us to their show. Sammy says this isn't just any old show. This is the newest, hottest, possibly weekly interview show in WWE. They say they will do it whenever they feel like it. Fans boo when they praise The Miz and talk about how he left Raw last week, but who better to fill that void than them? Sammy mentions how one of them will win the big 50-man Royal Rumble match in Saudi Arabia this week. They go on and introduce tonight's guest by singing their version of the Uso, as the crowd goes along with it as well. As Kurt Angle's music plays, and out he comes. Angle enters the ring and they offer him a chair, but it's a cheap lawn chair. Sammy and Owens poke at Angle over Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon, saying that she has Angle's manhood in a jar back at WWE headquarters. Angle mentions how Stephanie would be able to use her arm if it wasn't for Ronda Rousey. They warn him because he needs this job. They also crack jokes over the whole Jason Jordan story. Owens says tonight isn't about the past, it's about the future. And what Angle will give them to maximize Stephanie's investment is in hiring them. Angle wants to repay them for being so endearing to them. Angle says he will be in the 50-man Royal Rumble match on Friday as well. And so will Daniel Bryan. Fans chat yes now. And so will Chris Jericho be in the match as well. And every other superstar, Owens and Sammy have endeared over the years. But that's Friday, and this is Raw. Angle wants to repay them tonight as well. He announces Sammy and Owens versus Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman. As the fans pop, Angle's music hits as he makes his exit. Sammy and Owens aren't happy. Seth Rollins backstage. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel walk in. They say goodbye to the Miz. They said goodbye to the Miz last week and said hello to their futures. Axel says it's time to burn it down now. They reveal they're wearing Rollins t-shirts. Dallas says they can be the new Shield. Rollins says their hearts are in the right place, but it's going to be a hard no. He walks off. We go back to the announcements for more discussion on Friday's big Royal Rumble event and WWE Network. So to come segment, our 10-woman main event. Dolph Ziggler also and Drew McIntyre will be here. Back to commercial. Titus Worldwide versus the team of Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Didn't see this match because my feed went out. Back from the rate, Titus Worldwide's in the ring. Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, and Dana Brooke. We see that Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre did what they did to them last week. The big pipes start up as Drew makes his way out. Dolph Ziggler's music hits and he joins Drew. They head to the ring together. Ziggler starts off with Titus and Titus takes control. Titus with offense before Crews tags in. Crews hits a standing moonsault for a 2 count. Crews with more offense until Drew gets a tag in off of a double team. McIntyre worked Crews over and taunted Titus. Ziggler tagged in before a few big double team combo moves. As Ziggler talks some trash and picks Crews up as McIntyre tagged back in for a double team. They nail the Claymore, zigzag combo finisher, and Drew covers for the pin on Crews. After the match, go to replays as Ziggler and McIntyre stand tall while the music plays. Charlie Caruso interviews Ziggler and McIntyre in the ring. Ziggler says no one has ever had his back from day one, but now Drew does. And that's why he brought him to Raw. Ziggler said Drew is dangerous. Drew says that's right. He is dangerous, especially to a locker room that has gone soft. He sees no ambition backstage, just people collecting checks, and it makes him sick. Drew says this is what a superstar looks like and how a superstar speaks. And he has all the credentials in the world to back it up. Drew says times are changing. He's not what WWE wants, but he's the wake-up call and the reality check that this place desperately needs. Ziggler says they don't give a dang about showing off because this right here, this is the show. Ziggler and Drew leave as the music starts back up. As I'm change website and change feeds, I get, I don't know, like voiceovers. As you can see, the actual action from the show, but you got people talking in Spanish or whatever they were saying, and I didn't understand not a word of it. And we get Kurt Angle watching Drew and Ziggler. He says, not bad. Chad Gable walks in and thanks Angle for bringing him to Raw. He says this is an awesome opportunity and he does not plan on wasting it. He asks Angle how Jason Jordan is. Angle says he's doing fine and will be back soon, but he didn't bring Gable to team with Jordan. He brought him to be a singles competitor. Jinder Mahal and Sunil Singh suddenly appeared to complain about how Jeff Hardy won the U.S. title and went to SmackDown. Jinder says he will win the title on Friday in Saudi Arabia and then wants to be sent back to the blue brand. Angle says that's not happening. Gable speaks up and says Jinder needs to learn about respect. Jinder disrespects Gable. This leads to some shoving and Angle makes a match. We go to commercial. Jinder Mahal versus Chad Gable. Back from the break, out comes Sunil Singh to introduce Jinder Mahal. Chad Gable's out next. Gable approached the ringside area, but Singh distracted him, allowing Jinder to nail the cheap shot. Jinder beat Gable up at ringside and rolled him into the ring. Jinder stomps as the referee backs him off, and we get a replay of what just happened. Referee checks on Gable, and he's ready to go. The bell finally rings, and Gable goes right to work on Jinder. Jinder shuts Gable down with a big kick. Gable counters a move and rolls Jinder up. Gable dumps Jinder over the top rope. To the floor. Gable falls, but Jinder nails a big clothesline on the floor. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Jinder has Gable grounded in the ring. Jinder with a suplex for a 2 count. Jinder with more stomping now. Gable fights back, but Jinder shuts him down and whips him hard into the turnbuckles chest first. Gable finally makes a comeback and unloads with offense. Gable focuses on the legs now, keeping Jinder down and off his feet. Jinder cuts Gable off with a knee to the gut. Jinder scoots Gable on his shoulders, but Gable fights out. Jinder catches Gable and drops him over the top rope. Jinder then nails a big running knee, but he wastes some time. Gable blocks the collar and rolls Jinder up with a counter for the pin out of nowhere. Winner of the match, Chad Gable. After the match, Gable immediately exits the ring and celebrates. He looks shocked. Jinder looks on from the ring as we go to replays. Renee is backstage with the Riot Squad asking about last week's attack on Bayley and Sasha. They say it was a message to the entire division. They came to disrupt, not be friends or role models. They go on about tonight's 10-woman main event and walk off. Till the gun segment, Samoa Joe will speak on his backlash match against Roman Reigns. Back to commercial. Back for the break, we get more graphics on Bruno. The announcers show us earlier face-off with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. We cut to a backstage video from Samoa Joe. He's worried he might not have an opponent for Backlash because of Brock Lesnar conquering Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia and burying him in the Arabian desert. Now it's the greatest Royal Rumble once again. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas backstage talking to Finn Balor about replacing Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson now that they were sent to SmackDown. They're wearing Balor Club t-shirts now and try to get the Too Sweet, but he's not interested. He shuts their Too Sweet down and walks off. Dallas asks Axel if he's thinking what Dallas is thinking, but he has no idea what Dallas is thinking. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens walking backstage, back to commercial. Sami and Kevin versus Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. I think I went to cooking something for this match. As my feed still in Spanish or whatever version it was. Back to the ring. Out first comes Kevin Owens with Sami Zayn. Bobby Lashley out first for his team. Braun Strowman was out next. Sami and Owens both go to the floor as we get the bell. Braun and Lashley look to ready to go, but the others are not. Sami and Owens wait in the ring as Braun and Lashley talk things over. They try to play more games, but Braun catches them both on the floor. Braun sends Sami into the barrier and sends Owens into the ring. Lashley takes Owens and hits a neck breaker. Lashley with more offense now, including a big spine buster. Lashley stands tall for a pop. Braun with a big right hand and a thrust against the turnbuckles. Lashley beats Owens down with the elbows to the head in the corner. Lashley puts a boot to Owens and keeps him down in the corner. Owens finally gets a kick in. Lashley takes Owens into the corner, but Owens keeps control, and in comes Sami. Sami unloads on Lashley in the corner now. Lashley fights out with ease and sends Sami down with a suplex for a 2 count. Lashley with more offense in the corner until Sami drops him with a boot. Owens tags back in for a bit of double teaming in the corner. Sami and Owens keep up the quick tags and offense in the corner now. Lashley tosses Owens to the floor and scoops Sami up, launching him face first into the top turnbuckle. Snake eyes. Lashley goes on and hits the crossbody on Sami for a 2 count. Lashley with a big thrust in the corner to Sami. Owens pulls the top rope down. Lashley tumbles out to the floor. Owens delivers a senton on the floor, and Lashley is down. Owens screams out from the apron as we go back to commercial. Back to the ring, Sami is working Lashley over in the corner. Lashley catches a charging attempt and launches Sami across the ring for a pop. Lashley crawls for a tag. Owens comes in first and stops the tag. Owens mounts Lashley and unloads on him now. Sami tags in and stops Lashley from tagging again. Sami is on Lashley's back now. Lashley powers up, but Sami holds on and Lashley goes back to his knees. Got him in a sleeper hold. Lashley powers up again, and Sami runs to the mat. Goes to the mat. Lashley finally floors through Sami and gets the hot tag to Braun. Braun runs around the ring and floors Owens in the barrier. Braun enters the ring again and flattens Sami next. Braun runs back to the outside and rams Owens back in the barrier as soon as he gets to his feet. Braun returns to the ring and nails a big clothesline to Sami. Braun runs back around the ring and hits a huge drop kick to Owens. Just as he's about to be getting back up, Braun stands tall and raises his arms and his fans pop. Braun goes back in the ring and gives those hands to Sami. Braun tosses Sami into the corner and splashes him. Fans chant, "Get these hands now." Lashley is smiling. Braun tags Lashley in for the double team as he tosses Sami across the ring, and Lashley scoops him up for the big vertical suplex. Lashley keeps Sami high in the air as the fans cheer. Lashley finally brings Sami to the mat. Braun is tagged back in. Braun scoots Sami back up and hits a big running power slam for the win. After the match, Braun music plays as he stands tall in the middle of the ring with Lashley. We go to replays. We come back to fans cheering as Shawn and Lashley celebrate. So to come segment, our 10-woman main event, plus Seth Rollins and Finn Balor versus Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Also, Baron Corbin is here. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Announcer's plug. World Wish Day. And we get No Way Jose versus Baron Corbin, supposedly. We go to the ring. Out comes No Way Jose with his conga line. Baron Corbin was out first. His first appearance since Superstar Shakeup last week. Corbin speaks from the stage and says he saw through Jose's little plan. This Congo line is clearly a setup for Jose's guy to attack Corbin from behind. When he's beaten on Jose, Corbin gets it. Jose is here to have fun. Corbin's idea of fun is ruining other people's fun. Corbin says he's a former champion and he's here on Raw to become champion again. Corbin says Jose just isn't on his level as long as Jose has his Congo line. Corbin says no way to a match. Corbin walks back to the back. Jose takes the mic and says the party doesn't have to stop just because Corbin doesn't want to have fun. Jose calls for his music to start back up, and the conga line resumes around the ring. Dancers head to the back, and Jose stops on stage to say goodbye to the crowd, but Corbin attacks him from behind. Corbin destroys Jose on the stage and leaves him laying after a chokeslam backbreaker. Corbin stands tall and poses as a fan's boot. We go to video segment with Alexa Bliss. A moment of bliss. She talks about being against bullies and accusing Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax of bullying a hungry, homeless woman when they were out together one time. Bliss tells Nia's partners to not be accomplices to her bullying. She goes on and says she will prove at Backlash that bullies don't always win when she beats Jax for the title. A process that will begin tonight. Finn Balor and Seth Rollins versus Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. We go to ring. Out comes Finn Balor. Back to commercial. Back from the commercial, out comes Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins. Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel were out last. They still use the Miz's theme song and are still announced as the Misterage. Dallas starts off with Balor and takes control. Axel comes in and mocks Balor with the two sweet gestures after dropping him with a shoulder. They lock up and Balor goes behind, but Axel knocks him back. Balor counters and drop kicks Axel for a 2 count. Axel turns it back around and tags in Dallas. Dallas drops a knee and covers for a 2 count. Dallas drops more knees for another pin attempt. Dallas keeps Balor grounded now and talks some trash. Balor fights back, but Dallas keeps control. Balor finally drops Dallas with an overhead kick for a pop. Rollins and Axel tag in at the same time. Rollins springboards in and unloads. Dallas gets dropped off the apron. Rollins with a sling blade to Axel. Rollins sends Axel into Dallas and then Axel off the apron to the floor. Landing beside Dallas, Rollins runs ropes and nails the suicide dive to both of his opponents. Rollins brings Axel back in the ring and nails a blockbuster. Axel cranks up for the blackout curb stomp. As fans chant, "Burn it down now." Axel blocks and goes for a perfect plex, but it's blocked. Rollins nails the curb stomp. Balor tags in as Rollins takes Dallas down on the outside. Balor goes up top and nails a coup de grace on Dallas for the pinfall and win. After the match, Balor and Rollins stand tall in the ring together as their arms are raised. Balor's music plays. The announcers hype the fatal 4-way ladder match in Saudi Arabia on Sunday with Rollins defending against Balor, Samoa Joe, and The Miz. They shake hands and have some friendly words. Ember Moon, Natalya, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax are backstage talking about the main event. Jax says mocking her is bad for your health in regard to Alexa Bliss's words earlier. They all leave, but Bayley and Banks stare each other down for a few extra seconds. Still to come segment, our 10 women main event. Back commercial. Riot Squad, Mickie James and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley, Sasha, Natalya, Ember, and Nia. Back from the ring, out first comes the heels, Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. Riot Squad were all followed out. Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Ruby Wyatt. Bayley was out first for her team, followed by Ember Moon and then Natalya. Sasha was out next, and then Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax was out last to a pop. Sasha starts things off with Liv. Liv taunts Sasha. They go at it, and then comes Logan for a double team. Logan takes over on Banks and beats her around. Logan mounts Sasha and ragdolls her on the apron a bit. Banks catches a kick and finally fights back. Banks gets sent to the apron, but she fights in and drops Logan for a 2 count. Banks keeps Logan grounded after slowing things down. Liv tags back in for double teaming in the corner. Liv runs into the boots in the corner. Liv ducks Sasha, but Sasha comes right back and slaps Liv to the mat. Banks gets a 2 count. Banks then tags in Ember, and she takes Liv down for a quick pin attempt. Ember sends Liv to the corner and keeps control with a few high-impact moves. Ember gets herself a 2 count. Then Ember sends Liv to the floor and nails a big suicide dive on her. Logan and Ruby drag Liv to safety as we go to commercial. Back from the commercial, Logan has control of Banks in the ring. Banks fights out, but Logan stops her from tagging. Logan overpowers Banks in the corner. Mickie tags in and stomps away on Sasha in the corner. Mickie takes Sasha down, talks trash as the fans try to rally. The screen splits with a promo for the greatest Royal Rumble event. Banks finally tags in Natalya. She unloads on Mickie and nails a suplex. Natalya with another suplex. Natalya takes Mickie down, steps on her head, and hits a basement drop kick for a 2 count. Natalya catches the kick and drops Mickie for the sharpshooter. Natalya gets it locked in and stops Mickie from getting the bottom rope. Logan runs in with a chop block and breaks the hold. Natalya tags Bayley in, but Mickie kicks Natalya's injured leg on her way out. Natalya lands out on the floor, and the officials calls for help. She's also hurting from the chop block that Logan hit her with. A trainer comes down with another official to check on Natalya. Banks also checks on her. Ruby and Bayley go at it in the middle of the ring. Ruby hits the STO for a 2 count. We see Natalya out on the floor clutching her knee still. Jax finally tags in and then rams Ruby into the corner. Jax runs wild on Ruby and presses her high in the middle of the ring, winking at Bliss while she holds her. Jax slams Ruby to the mat and hits a big leg chop. He goes for the pin, but the ring fills up and we have chaos. The ring empties as Brawl goes to the floor. Jax goes to the apron and leaps off onto the others. All the women are down. Everyone is down on the outside. Except for Natalya, still recovering from her knee. Mickie goes over and delivers a cheap shot to Natalya now while she's down with the trainers on the other side of the ring. Mickie nails Natalya again, but the music hit. Out comes Ronda Rousey to a pop. Mickie gets back into the ring. Rousey checks on Natalya, helps her up. Mickie comes over and baseball slides Rousey, knocking her down. Rousey stands up and stares at Mickie. Rousey hits the ring and Mickie attacks her. Rousey takes Mickie down and applies the armbar. Mickie taps as the referee calls for the bell. Rousey breaks the hold and goes back to the floor to check on Natalya. Rousey's music hits as she helps Natalya to her feet. Rousey and an official assist Natalya as we go back to the announcers with the greatest Royal Rumble hype. Raw goes off the air at that point with Rousey helping Natalya to the back. There was no dark main event after this week's Raw at the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis after they went off the air. But the advertised dark match was one with Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins versus Sheamus, Cesaro, and Samoa Joe. But that match did not happen as Joe and the Bar are not there due to the Superstar Shakeup. So that segment that Samoa Joe did was taped. Raw went off the air with Ronda Rousey helping Natalya to the back and the other female superstars, then left to return backstage as the event ended. And that concludes my Raw and WWE main event results. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on the video. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.